Okay, good evening, students. This is Agri Challenge Academy. We are in part of soils chemistry. So today's lecture is on ion exchange in soils. So how the ion exchange will taking place in soils, we will want to explain all these things. So very first, students, we will see what is ion exchange, all those things as usual. We'll start with our introduction. So very first, we have to see the definition. So ion exchange is defined as reversible process by which cations, anions are exchanged between the solid and liquid phases. And how this was solid and liquid phases between solid phase if it is in close contact between each other. So this exchange of cations or anions, or exchange of ions, simply I want to speak means exchange of ions will be taken place between the solid and liquid. You know how that exchange was taking place. We have discussed many things about that double layer theory, etc., in last class. And also, if the particles are very close, we can see the exchange between the solid phase also will be taken place. That is called the ion exchange. And there is another important term called adsorption. All these are all surface phenomena, students. It's a phenomena in which increase in concentration or accumulation of an ion on a solid occur due to the ion exchange or other reactions. So adsorption is nothing but just attaching. It's a surface phenomena. No, adsorption is surface phenomena. So it just is attaching. It's a phenomena. Increase in concentration or accumulation of ion on the solid occurs due to the ion exchange or due to the ion exchange or the other reaction. Other reactions means mainly due to the pH, yeah, pH or EC exchange where the dissolved salts, etc. Other reactions will be due to that, those type of exchange and ion reactions only this adsorption will be taken place. Remember this, okay? Desorption means it is quite opposite to the adsorption. It's a phenomena by which replacement or release of an adsorption ion species occurs. You know, naturally, whenever we go for reclamation of problematic soils, especially in South India or especially in Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh, we usually faces the salt problem will be faces, you know, especially sodium salts will be so sodic salts will be majorly will take in place. So in that position, what we will do, we'll add gypsum. So by adding gypsum, what will happen? There will be reversible action. The sodium will be replaced by the calcium. The desorption, absorption, all these reactions will be taken. You will learn in details regarding with that in problematic soils. So ion exchange properties entirely which part it will take in place is ion exchange, mostly in clays, silt fractions, and organic fractions. Only in these three fractions you can expect the ion exchange property. That's why these fractions are very important in any agriculture part of the soil. Mostly soil particles are amphoteric in nature. What is the meaning of amphoteric? Any idea? What is the meaning of amphoteric nature? What is amphoteric?
It acts as
Both acidic and alkaline.
base
Yes.
and
Yes, correct. It will have soil can act both base and acid. So it has both type of reactions. It can act as a basic reaction. It can act as acidic reaction. The soil is very amphoteric in nature. So what happens? So soil can hold both cations and anions. That is the beauty of this one. And also the charge density and potential are high at the edges. Usually we read all those things. Why in charge of why? Because students can explain why. Charge density and potentials are high at edges, corners, and in furrows and cavities as compared to the flat plane surfaces, or consequently exchange phenomena probably concentrated more in those sites. Why? Can I explain? Only in edges and corners and furrows and cavities are the great chance. There is a great chance of exchange reactions. Why? Already I have discussed about the
Surface area more and OH is present.
we have said one
Presence
right.
of more COH groups.
Yeah. You said one right answer. Because in surface charge only we have learned one how the charge will develop. We have learned in the previous classes isomorphous substitution or even this pH dependent or mostly this isomorphous substitution or pH dependent charge where it will be only in broken edges, corners, cavities, that outer core, inner core. We have learned many things now. So due to that charge will be concentrated only on those areas. That's why this phenomena. So this so-called ion action will take in place in those corners. As than flat surfaces. Than flat surfaces only you can see edges and corners only. You can see the reaction. This ion action will be taken place. So simply this is what the short introduction or short of answer of ion exchange. Now we will see the ion exchange held all on the how these ions are held on the ions. So mostly held by the Coulomb force with the Coulomb force and van der Waals forces. Van der Waals force is a very weak force. Coulomb force, mostly Coulombs, we usually in electricity, we learn physics, electricity, we usually learn about these Coulomb's law or Coulomb forces. So these exchangeable ions are held by these two forces. One is Coulomb force or van der Waals forces. In most of these soils, the exchangeable cations, what are the exchangeable cations, students? Very important. Calcium, magnesium, hydrogen, potassium, sodium. What is this? Can anyone answer?
Ammonia.
Ammonia.
Ammonium.
Ammonium, not ammonia, right? Okay. Ammonium,
Yes,
calcium. Students, is it right? Actually, this 4 should come here now. Okay, some mistake is there. Okay, calcium. Calcium is repeated. So, calcium is a very dominated exchangeable cation, student, when compared. Calcium is a highly dominated cation exchangeable. Cation exchange, it is highly dominated. And also, but when compared, when we come to the strong acid soils, dominate exchangeable ions. So, in acidic soils, we can see aluminum hydroxides are mostly dominated because of low pH. Quite reverse in alkali soils also. Sodium is a major problem in southern parts of Andhra Pradesh, especially in southern coastal Andhra Pradesh, or even in southern Tamil Nadu areas like Kadalur districts. We can face this type of problem. Alkaline problem. Even Karaikal also we can say this type of problem. Alkali soil, sodium domination will be there. And what are the most common anions in that? Sulfates, chlorides, and what is this? HCO3.
and bicarbonate.
Bicarbonates, yeah. Sulfates, chlorides, and bicarbonates. So remember this, student, this is very important. Calcium, magnesium, hydrogen, potassium, sodium, and ammonia are the cations. Dominated anions are sulfates, chlorides, and bicarbonates are the major anions. So you remember all those things. And I hope you have in your BSc or especially SRF students, we know that usually we calculate the balance between the cations and anions. I don't know. I don't know about the northern India people, because in North India there is no much problem of salt. But in South India, especially in southern states, like where the salts were highly dominated, we go for the number of cations and number of anions calculation. Salt water balance equation. We derive salt water balance equation, and we will calculate how much salt was added to that particular field with this much of irrigation water. There's a big calculation is there. I think this is not a platform to discuss about all those things, but don't worry, they won't ask that much in depth, because it's not possible to ask in competitive exams about that. Anyhow, but let's come to the cation exchange. So especially today we are going to read about the few things, students. One is cation exchange capacity, one is anion exchange capacity, and very first and finally we go for base percent saturation, and we do one calculation. Okay. So cation exchange capacity. So it's nothing but exchange of cations. That's all. It's the replacement of cation adsorbed on the exchange complex by other cations is called cation exchange capacity. So the reaction of cation mostly rapidly in the interchange in the chemical equivalents. Mostly this interchange mostly in chemical equivalents will take in place. An exchange of cations in the soils take place between where it will take in place in soil solution. Soil solution exchangeable complex. That is K crystalline humus released by the wind. Some plant roots, we can see some exchange. Actually, this is one of the phenomena exchange. The nutrient uptake also will take one phenomena is there. Exchanging matter. Exchanging of ions also, root will take some exchange. And cations are between the two crystallines also, or two organic colloids also, or even between the solid surfaces also, these exchange reactions will take place. What is the unit of cation exchange capacity? Can anyone answer?
Centimole P plus kg per minute.
What is the
Milli
word?
equivalents per 100 grams also. Sir.
Okay. That
Both-
is old one. Yeah, milliequivalents
both
is
correct.
old one.
Old ones.
Yeah, old one, but now we are using it P plus.
Centimole.
P plus.
Centimole.
Yeah, we are using. Remember, students, they will ask these units also. In chemistry, we should follow few things. One is you have to know what are the in double layer theory. You should know the difference between each layer. What is that? And better keep in touch with formulas also. What I have teach the formula, you just note it on the formulas also, because the ICR is nowadays ICR is unpredictable. They're giving some different questions, so you keep touching with that and difference in that. So especially in chemistry, remember the units also. Now we will see the next slide. So all cations are not absorbed equal tendency. There is so, as I said, there is no equal absorption, because completely depends upon the valence, it depends upon the size, it depends upon many factors, pH, etc. So exchange complex do not possess same strength of negative charges in all points. Because it's completely varies with the size, charge, everything is dependent. So what is the power of replacement of cations? Most this is the order. This is the order of replacement of cations. Please keep note in that, because this question asked in my exam when I have written my JRF, both JRF and SRF, I faced this question. So please note down this. Even for next students also, these are basics. We should keep these small issues also. So hydrogen, aluminum, almost there will be equal replacement, but calcium is more. After that, magnesium will come. After that, potassium and ammonium will be equal. After that, sodium will be there. So this is the replacement. This is the replacement power of the cations. Yes, sir. So the cation with less size and high charge per unit are held more strongly than the other cations. So less charge, and high charge, less size and high charge will get a more strongly cation will be absorbed from the clay particles. So remember, this is regarding the cations. Coming to the what is the capacity? So we know. So finally we came to know what is what is cation exchange and what are the ions will exchange between this. But now we see what is the cation exchange capacity of this soil. In the Thomson and Way in 1850, he said that the sum of total exchangeable cations that the soil can absorb is known as cation exchange capacity. The sum of total exchangeable cations in the soil is known as cation exchange capacity of the soil. It is the amount of exchangeable cations per unit weight of dry soil. It is measured in milliequivalents. This is old unit per 100 grams. But recently we are using centimole P plus per kg. Using centimole P plus per kg. Nothing but how many moles of cations are there per kg is called as exchangeable cations. Okay, students. But milliequivalents are very old unit. So milliequivalents is used because number of negative charge that is a given sample does not change. But the weight of the cations that may absorb to those sites one time do not change because they have different weights. So milliequivalents also now when the negative charge will be there, there is no change. But when they observe on those sides one time there is changes. That's in different ways. That's why use. But nowadays milliequivalents is nowhere in way because most of the papers are not even using this unit. We are using only centimoles P plus per kg. So finally we came with a base saturation. Very important, students. So very first, students, I will ask few questions. What is the base saturation in a high altitude? In high altitude soils or in high topographic area, what is the base saturation? What is the condition of base saturation? Low, high, medium? What is the condition?
Low, sir.
Low. Okay, well, good. Both have given correct answer. Can I explain why?
More rainfall, leaching of the more bases.
Sir, more leaching is done.
Leaching is more, sir.
Yeah,
Basic
yeah.
cations.
Yeah. We are both people, both Krishna and Varun, both are giving answer because due to the heavy rains, what happened means all the bases, so-called calcium, magnesium, etc., everything will be leached out. So what is the condition of the soil at that condition? Or what is the reaction of soil?
Acidic.
Pure acidic. The pH will goes down to up to
4.
Yeah, up to
Less
4.
than
Yes,
4.
yes, up to 4. Yes, up to 4. Because Krishna know all this things. Because he is from Uttar Pradesh, this problem is there. Because up to 4 will be there. Especially in Uttar Pradesh, even in Odisha also, the pH will be varies around from 4 to 5.5 like that. If the soil was properly managed, they can reach up to 6 point they can reach. But usually if you check the pH in Odisha or in Odisha conditions or even some North Indian state conditions, the pH will be around 4, 4.5 like that. But EC will be around very less, 0.03, 0.4 like that will be there in these conditions. Usually will be. That's why, because there is no salts, there is no dissolved salts, everything was leached out. But if you see same thing, if you done in our in Coimbatore or even Karaikal or even in Bapatla also, it is quite different. Here in our condition, EC will be around 1, 2, even if you go, it's very heavy. Dissolved salts are more. Leaching is very less. Accumulation is more. That too, we have some sea breeze also will become. So soil conditions are quite different. Our analysis part is different. pH sometimes goes up to 8, 9. Especially if you go to Kerala, you can see up to 9.5 also. Highly salt condition problems will be prevailing in those type of conditions. And in Kerala, you can see one different type of soil. So what are those? One problematic soil. Any idea?
Acid sulfate.
Curry soil.
Curry soils.
Yes, actually, Prava, the university madam is saying that she giving a local name. What is that?
Curry soils.
Curry soils.
Yes, acid sulfate soils, all those things. Anyhow, we are diverting from topic. Anyhow, come back to the subject. So the percentage of total CEC is satisfied with the basic cations in terms of base saturation. Remember this, students. Most of us, we are forgetting it. The percentage of total CEC satisfied with basic cations is termed as base saturation. This is a very fundamental thing. I always believe that if you have a good foundation, we can write any exam. So make strong in your fundamentals. So now let us come to the calculation. It is defined as extent to which exchange complex of the soil is saturated with Exchangeable cations other than hydrogen aluminum, and expressed as percentage of total cation exchange capacity. So, what is the formula? Base saturation is equal to milliequivalence of basic cations per gram of the soil by total CEC in milliequivalence. This is very old unit, but we are using centimoles P plus 100 grams into 100. This is naturally we want percentage, so we will multiply with 100. So overall, if you go for a classification, or if you go for any tabulation, if you have a high more than 80% of base saturation is high fertile, 50 to 80% is medium fertile. Your base saturation is less than 50 means we can simply say that it is a low fertile. There is a condition regarding this. So now, so before going this, can anyone explain what is the procedure of analyzing CEC? Anyone can answer. What is the process in laboratory? We do an experiment. What is the procedure of analyzing CEC?
Ammonium acetate leach method.
Okay. Can you explain? Please explain how we will do that experiment. I can captain PPT, but I want discussion. That's why I didn't keep. Explain. Eloras, you can explain about the experiment. How many grams we take the soil? Yeah. You can explain it. Just explain the procedure enough.
Sir, I'm not clear how much gram.
No problem. You say some X grams because that different from person to person. Because why I'm asking you, because your assistant professor usually deal all these things, and that's why. Anyhow, students, usually what we do means we take some 20
3 grams, sir.
Yeah, and how much?
3 grams.
3 grams, CECP.
Yes, sir.
3 grams. I think it will be more. I think so.
అంటే మా సార్ 3 grams అని చెప్పింది సార్.
3 grams. What is do you know procedure? What is the procedure you follow in your university?
సార్ యూనివర్సిటీ కాదు మామూలు చెప్పినారు సార్ 3 grams ఫ్లాస్క్ లో తీసుకొని అమోనియా యాసిటేట్ వేసి నైట్ అంతా అట్లనే పెట్టి అనేది చెప్పినారు సార్.
Yeah, got it. So what Mr. Varun is saying that we take some 3 grams of soil. Yeah, I think, now I'm getting. Yeah, it is 3 to 5 grams. Yes, we take some 3 to 5 grams. We take it in a beaker and we add ammonium acetate and we saturate it for overnight. And next day, what we will do means we will filter it in Wattman number filter paper. But I'm repeating. In some people we use centrifuge. They use centrifuge. They will put it in a centrifuge tube and they will centrifuge it and they will collect that aliquot. Or sometimes what we usually do in TNA method, we usually saturate that with soil with ammonium acetate. We filter that one, and what we will do means we will give alcohol washings. We will use some 40% of alcohol. We will do alcohol washings. Then what we will do? We will collect
up to chloride. We will remove all the.
Yeah. Usually Coimbatore TNA is a university. Has recommended this method only. We will wash. We will give 40% of alcohol we pour, and we will collect. We will take 1 or 2 drops from that funnel, and we will add silver nitrate. If there is a fogginess is there means chloride is present. If there is no fogginess, that foggy that doesn't came means if the precipitate was not found, precipitate has not came means the chloride is completely leached out. Then we will collect that aliquot. We will collect all that alcohol in 100 ml flask. We will make up the volume. Then with that solution we will kept aside for the analyzing our sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and all our cations. And this rest of leached out is there, that ammonia, that soil. We will go and we will distillate that one. Then we will calculate all our cations. I think you're getting my point. Especially this is followed, but I think this for Krishna it is very new because his university will teach like that. What you will do means we will take one beaker, we'll add some 3 to 5 grams of soil. We'll put ammonium acetate for overnight. Then what we will do? We will filter it. We will filter it, or some people what they will go for that centrifugation. We can go. Ultimately, we want a clear solution. Some people may go. That is a different method. Centrifuging method is different, but mostly in TNA they use this method only. We will use all these things, and that the solution is the ammonia solution. will be collected. What we will do, then we will give a washings, alcohol washings, 40% alcohol we use. So everything will be collected here. And finally what we will do, we will take 2-3 drops from here and we will put it in a test tube. We will add silver nitrate. So what will happen if there is no precipitation? The entire chlorine was completely leached off. So chlorine is the last cation, ion which is completely leached out. That's the indication. So if there is a clear solution is there, your complete base cations were completely leached came into your solution. Then what we will do, we will take this solution and we will analyze for calcium, magnesium, sodium, etc. And we will take this rest of the solution which is completely saturated with ammonia. We go for distillation, and then we will calculate our CEC, how many is there, and we converted them. And after getting that, we'll go for cation exchange capacity by putting, if you want to know about the base saturation of potassium, everything, we'll do calculation always. This is usually we follows. There are many methods to it. There are this is a filtration method and centrifugation method. Replacing method also is there. Replacing method is what they will do. They will centrifuge that and they will discard that one. They will discard that ammonium acetate. Again, they will fill with the potassium chloride solution. They will replace that one. And they will go for back titration. There is many methods are there. I don't want to confuse you by saying all these methods. You just know what is CEC and what is the procedure. And remember, students, please remember what are the reagents we are using in experiment. So what is the reagent we are using for a CEC? Can anyone explain? What are the reagents we use in CEC?
Alcohol, 40% alcohol, and AgNOC.
Mostly neutral normal ammonium acetate. That's the index cation. We usually call it index cation. Use with that one. And what is the reagent? What is the extractant we use for normally? What extractant we use for potassium?
Same ammonium acetate.
Ammonium acetate use. We will use ammonium acetate. And what method we follow for identifying or for determining the phosphorus? Which method we use for in acid soils?
Acidic Brace method.
Bray and Cruz method we use. And when in alkali conditions,
Olsen method.
we go for Olsen methods. Yeah, remember these things. These are the very fundamental things in chemistry. So please note down. Anyhow, we're wasting many things by discussing something. Okay. Anyhow, coming to the next slide. Liming is commonly mean by which percent base saturation in the soil will be increases. Because as the pH increases, more cations will come into place in a role. So generally, liming will improve the your base saturation. As a general rule, degree of base saturation normal cultivated soils higher when compared with arid and humid region soils. Remember this, students. Normally cultivated soils, the base saturation will be higher when compared with arid and humid regions. So also degree of base saturation soils formed from the limestone basic igneous rocks is higher than the soils formed under the sandstone and acid igneous rock. Remember this line, students. So soils which are formed on the limestone under limestone or basic igneous rocks is a greater than the base saturation is greater when compared with sandstone and acid igneous rocks. And also, students, soils with large amount of organic colloids or 1:1 type of colloids can supply the nutrient cations to the plants to much lower degree to the base saturation than the soils compared with 2:1 type of clay. So 1:1 type of supplies more compared to 2:1 type of clay. Remember these points. So percent base saturation does not provide numerical value. Amount of exchangeable hydrogen, aluminum ions, as these helps in the precipitation amounts and lime needed to neutralize the soil activity. So before this, I said that we are excluding aluminum hydrogen. Why? Because this hydrogen aluminum in exchange complex, they will form a precipitation they form precipitation with lime and to neutralize the soil acidity. That's why we are not including a CEC, this iron aluminum. So kind of absorption of cat also affected with the soil pH, the soil reaction. So soil reaction will completely determine the CEC, which we discuss coming class. We discuss about this topic pH. Because with the same base saturation, the soil is dominated by sodium content, presence of higher pH. So if the pH was very high, what will happen? Sodium content is very high. Then soil was dominated with calcium and magnesium. Presence of pH value, then the soil calcium and magnesium. So these are the conditions. You know all these things. If there is a more pH, generally we see that sodium was dominated. That is an alkali conditions. Soil pH will be influence the what is the condition of CEC in all these things. Now let us see what are the factors will be influence the CEC. So more fine soils have a more CEC, more humus content also more CEC will be there. So 2:1 type of more CEC than 1:1 type of minerals. And alkali pH range CEC would be more. Liming and fertilization also increases the CEC. So these are the few factors which influence the CEC. Fine soils, humus, this crystal minerals, and alkali pH. All these things will be, sorry, pH is denoted wrongly. So pH ranges, CEC is more, and liming and fertilization also will improve the CEC, because liming will change, will alter the pH. So generally, there is increasing in CEC also. And what is the importance, students? So we are talking many things. What is the importance of CEC? The more important reaction in the nature is after photosynthesis. Very important reaction, because this plays a major role in fertility of the soil. Fertility means generally nutrition to the soil. So sorry, nutrition to the plants. So that will directly will affect the yield also. The important reaction occurring in very soil acidity and basicity. The correcting, so it is a very important reaction to correct the whether soil acidity or basicity, and also it alters the physical properties also. So throughout the cation exchange mechanism, larger cation exchange capacity, the percolating water will be purified, alter the groundwater, and also it will check the pollution. See, students, CEC has that much great importance. So CEC also very important to check the pollution also, to check the groundwater pollution also. It will check the groundwater pollution by some exchange mechanism. So while percolating water, it will be purified because of exchange will take place. Some heavy metals are there. Means what will happen? It will exchange that it will adhere to this, adhere to the clay particles, and the water will be purified. The percolating water will be very pure. So indirectly it will check the groundwater pollution. And also plant observes most of the cations or all the nutrition will observe by this exchange cations through root hairs and colloidal complex. Only we can. So the amount of cations in the soil solution are intermediately related to the exchangeable cations. So amount of cations is nothing but quietly related to your exchangeable cations. And also it offers some buffering capacity. Buffering capacity means it is a so
Resist to change in pH.
yeah, resist to change in pH. Also, it sees also it offers some changes in sudden changes in a pH. Also, it will give some resistance. So the CEC has this much importance. Now we will see what is the next slide. So now, so overall, coming to the anion exchange capacity, quite different to the cation exchange capacity. It occurs on a positive side of the edges. That occurs in negative charge, but here you can see a positive charge. So total amount of exchangeable anions held by the unit mass of the soil is termed as anion exchange capacity. Same, students, instead of cation, here there is anion, that's all. So the ratio as the anion exchange capacity generally low and increases as the pH decreases or acidity increases. Generally, it is quite opposite. So anion will be increases when there is a low pH and decreases when pH was decreases. Sorry, pH was increases. That is, in acidic condition, anion exchange plays a major role. Quite opposite to our Cs. As the ratio of Cs and AEC of the layer silicate minerals increases, the absorption of anions decreases. Generally, the ratio of in the layer silicate increases, the absorption of anion decreases. Acid soils in the tropical and subtropical regions containing hydroxides of aluminum exhibit the higher amount of AEC because of tropical subtropical regions where the acid conditions are prevailing. You can expect the hydroxides of aluminum ion exhibits higher AEC and calcareous young soils of arid and semi-arid soils also we can expect some extent. So what are the preferential of anion exchange capacity? What is the preference of anion on the positive sides? So this is the chain. Please remember this chain. This is very important. Zinc oxides, phosphates, sulfates, nitrate, chlorides, and aluminum all are equal. But again hydroxides. Again it's to pure phosphates and aluminum phosphates and hydroxide. So this is the preference of anion chain. So like cation action also determine the ability of the soil to provide the nutrient anions to the plants. And some nutrient anions also will be there. Actually, iron, all the micronutrients are mostly positively charged ions are also plays a major role in plant nutrition. So anion also has its own important role. But mostly we bother much about the CEC. In soil science condition, we prefer mostly CEC when compared with anion. Going to the next. There, this is one. Okay, can anyone do this? Please note down this problem. So I will read the problem, do calculation, and please explain. The CEC of a soil is 20 milliequivalents per 100 grams of the soil. So total CEC is 20 milliequivalents per 100 grams. The estimated amount of calcium is, so in that CEC also, the estimated amount of calcium is 0.160 per 100 grams. So magnesium is 0.048 grams per 100 grams. Sodium is 0.046 grams per 100 grams. And potassium is 0.117 grams per 100 grams. So now your duty is to calculate the percent base saturation and percent base unsaturation or exchangeable acidity. So calculate the percent base saturation, exchangeable acidity. Can you please do and give the answer? You can put it in chat box or anything. So with this, thank you. If you complete this, we can go for. Please say the answer, then I will end this show. Yeah, now you are there. You can start.
Okay. So the problem is the CEC of soil is 20 milli equivalent per 100 gram of a soil. The estimated amount of a calcium is a 0.16 gram per 100 gram, and magnesium is 0.48 by 100 gram, and sodium likewise. All the cations are given. So now the question is calculate the percent base saturation and base unsaturation or exchangeable acidity. So now first before base saturation, we have to know what is the calcium value and magnesium, and likewise each cations we need to know. So for calcium, how we can calculate by is first we can add the value, that is 0.16 divided by the atomic weight of the calcium. So that is 20. So 0.16 divided by 20. So this is for actually here it is given by gram. So we have to convert in this to milli equivalent. So we have to multiply it with this into 1000. So likewise all the cations we have to calculate, and then finally so we can get all the cations value, and we can add the all the value and divided by 20. So our exchangeable, sorry, just a minute, our base exchangeable percent acidity, sorry, not exchangeable acidity.
Yeah, you are right. You are right.
Yeah, that is exchangeable acidity. So exchangeable acidity is I think 15 or 17. Yeah, 17.
Yeah,
So
actually,
17 from
no,
that.
no, not like that. This is the basic way. What she is explaining is we convert all these grams into milli equivalents. So we get 88 milli equivalents. Like that, we should calculate same for magnesium and sodium. So finally, after adding all this calcium, magnesium, how much we get total? Total.
17 basic cation.
I think
How much? 17.
basic
Yes.
cations is
Yes,
17.
17 basic cations. So with this basic cations, we have to calculate the percent base saturation.
Percentage base.
So percent base saturation means total. We have a total.
Total cation divided by CEC.
Total cation divided by CEC, that is 20.
CEC is 20
20
into
yeah,
100.
into 100. So how much we get?
85.
85%.
We get 85%. So this is the total
Base saturation.
So for getting base unsaturation exchangeable, what should we do?
100 minus 85%.
185.
Minus
So how much we get? 15.
15, sir.
15.
So in this problem, total base saturation percentage is 85. Base unsaturation is 50. That's it. That is the explanation for this problem. So anyhow, thank you for all the students. Better involvement is there from both of your side. Thank you very much. That's all for today's class. With this, signing off. Thank you very much.